Hello everyone. Our today's topic is bonding forces in semiconductors. In previous lectures, we have discussed about the types of solids, Bohr model, hydrogen atom, and in hydrogen atom, we have derived the equation for the energy of electron in hydrogen atom. Now in today's lecture, we will discuss about the bonding forces in solids. So there are different types of bonding forces: ionic, covalent, metallic, and mixed bonding in solids. As you know, when two atoms are brought to a separation of a small distance, the valence electrons interact with each other and with the neighbors' positively charged nucleus. So, a bond between two atoms forms, producing, for example, a molecule. The formation of bond means that the energy of system of two atoms together must be less than that of the two atoms kept apart, so that the formation of the pair or the molecule is energetically favorable. Now let us discuss about the ionic bonds. When one atom completely loses a valence electron, so that outer shell of neighboring atom becomes completely filled, a bond is formed which is called ionic bond. The Coulombic attraction between them is at the origin of the ionic bonding. The copper chloride and NaCl salts are classic examples of solid in which the atoms are held together by ionic bonding. Ionic bonding is frequently found in materials that normally have a metal and a non-metal as the constituent elements. Many other solids consisting of metal and non-metal elements have ionic bonds. They are called ionic crystal, and by virtue of their ionic bonding characteristics share many similar physical properties. For example, magnesia, that is MgO, zinc sulfide, that is ZnS, are all ionic crystals. They are the properties of these ionic bond solids are ionic solids are rigid, unidirectional, and crystalline in nature. They have high melting and boiling points. Ionic solids are typically electrical insulators compared to metals and covalently bonded solids. Ionically bonded solids also have poor thermal conductivity. Now, Let us discuss about the covalent bonds. Two atoms can form a bond with each other by sharing some or all of their valence electrons and thereby reducing the overall energy. This is in contrast with the ionic bond because the electrons are shared rather than lost by an atom and given to another one. This concept comes purely from quantum physics and has no simple classical analog analogy. Covalent bonds are very strong in solids. This covalent bond is also formed when two atoms of different non-metals share one or more pairs of electrons in their outermost energy levels. For example, water molecules, which is shown in figure H2O. There is also the covalent bonding between two atoms of the same element, like it is shown in figure chlorine chlorine or silicon silicon that forms a covalent bonds. In case of silicon, the formation of covalent bonds between atoms in crystalline silicon, which has the diamond structure with 8 atoms per cubic unit cell. Each silicon shares 8 electrons with its neighbors. There is an electron cloud in the region between the atoms equivalent to 2 electrons with opposite spins. Due to the strong Coulomb attraction between the shared electrons and the positive nuclei, the covalent bond energy is strongest of all bond types. So, leading to very high melting temperatures and very hard solids. And diamond is one of the hardest known material. Covalently bonded solids are also insoluble in nearly all solvents. Now let us discuss about the metallic bonding. Atoms in metal have only a few valence electrons which can be readily moved from their cells and becomes collectively shared by all the ions they thus live. The valence electrons therefore becomes delocalized and form an electron gas or electron cloud, permitting the space between the ions, which is shown as in figure. The attraction between the negative charge of this electron gas and the metal ions forms the bonding in a metal. However, the presence of this electron cloud also adds a repulsive force to the bonding. This metallic bond is non-directional. Metal ions try to get as close as possible, which leads to close packed crystal structures with high coordination number compared to covalently bonded solids. Free valence electrons in the electron gas can respond readily to an applied electric field and drift along the force of the field, which is the reason for high electrical conductivity of metals. So metals has all metals also have good thermal conductivity. Now the last bonding forces in solids are the mixed bonding forces. In many solids, the bonding between atoms is generally not just of a certain type, but rather is a mixture of bond types. We know that bonding in silicon is totally covalent because the shared electrons in the bonds are equally attracted by the neighboring positive ion cores and are therefore equally shared. When there is a covalent type bond between two different atoms, the electrons becomes unequally shared because the two neighboring ion cores are different and hence have different electron attracting abilities. The bond is no longer purely covalent but has some ionic character because the shared electrons are more shifted towards one of the atoms. In this case, a covalent bond has an ionic component and is generally called a polar bond. Many technologically important semiconductor material such as third and fifth compounds, for example, gallium arsenide, GaAs, gallium arsenide, indium antimony, INSB, and so on, have polar covalent bonds. In gallium arsenide, for example, the electrons in a covalent bond are closer to the arsenide ion core than the gallium ion core. In ceramic materials, the type of bonding may be covalent, ionic, or a mixture of two. For example, silicon nitride, magnesia, MgO, and alumina, Al2O3, are all ceramics, but they have different types of bondings. Silicon nitride Si3N4 has covalent bond. Magnesia MgO has ionic bond. And alumina Al2O3 has a mixture of ionic and covalent bondings. All three are brittle and have high melting temperatures and are electrical insulators. Okay, now let us summarize today's lecture. In, in today's lecture, we have discussed about the different types of bondings in solids, that is ionic bonding, covalent bonding, metallic bonding, and mixed bonding in solids. Type of bondings in insulators is ionic. In semiconductor, it is a covalent bonding, while metallic bonding is in conductors. NaCl is a perfect insulator, is one of the example of the perfect insulator is the sodium chloride. Students, this is all for today's lecture. In next lecture, we will discuss about the energy levels in semiconductor, then how the energy bands are formed in semiconductors, and what do you mean by the energy band gap in semiconductors. So all these things, all these terms we will discuss in next lecture. Thank you.